pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, roll, Atlantic. Flight outside SE off. SE off.
Yikes. You bet.
Okay.
We don't need any more of these.
Yikes, you bet concur. You know what we need some more of? We need some more live feeds from Boca Chica, Texas. Folks, it's go time here. We've been monitoring the visibility situation pretty closely. Some fog was rolling in there in the evening, and it looks like that fog has mostly lifted. We did not have much visibility, but now we've got visibility of some fantastic tank farm activity at the tank farm at the test site for Starship SN10. Let me know, can you hear me right now? John Galloway with NASASpaceflight here. And can you see the live feed? This live feed, of course, coming from Mary. She has been out there in stakeout mode waiting for something to happen today. So can see the important bits. That's exactly right. Peter James, we had like a go, no go poll for the stream. And the go, no go poll was, would we be able to see the engine part? I don't care about the top of it. We're not looking at that today. We just wanted to make sure we could see the engines. And we did get some clearing fog there. So we were able to bring this up. Now, folks, we are here, and the trick is that the recondenser, remember, the first thing in the step that we sort of look at, the recondenser actually started at 5:09. As we were watching the visibility, that recondenser was kicking in at 5:09, and that would put a potential static fire around, sorry, 5:09, 4:09 Central Time, 5:09 where I am Eastern Time, and that would put a potential static fire at 5, no fives in it at all, 4:44, 5:09 roughly sort of deal. So that's why we're live. That's what we're doing here, trying to see if we can get a static fire. I am joined this evening by Jack. Jack, how you doing, dude?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, everybody. I mean, the fog is up, actually. The fog has lifted considerably here at Boca Chica, so we've got that going for us, which is nice. But, folks, excellent. That's the drill. We will be here to do some excellent Texas tank watching this evening. Jack and I will be holding it down for you. It may be that we get a static fire in 15 or 20 minutes here. Not exactly sure, but we're watching what's going on. And you can see we've already moved to tank farm activity. I mean, make no mistake, there's a lot of tank farm activity, right, Jack?
Yeah, look at it go. And I think you said earlier, it's just adding to the fog layer. But thankfully, the wind is going the right direction, and the fog has lifted a little bit. You can even see a little bit of blue sky, dare I say, up there.
I don't know if I dare that much, but
but yeah, it's as you can tell, I'm not on a camera right now, even though I am in Boca Chica, and that is just because the fog from South Padre Island is so intense. Maybe now that it's lifting so much, though, I feel like I should run out there. Although I don't know if I have enough time to set up. But
look at this, Jack. I switched over to the beach angle. We couldn't see anything. All we could see is that grass that's up close to the camera. And crack and willing in the fog don't rise, I guess. It's allowed us to see. Actually, look at the bottom of Starship there. We can move the status into propellant loading because we have vapors coming from the bottom of Starship, which is fantastic. Now, I'm going to be doing some of Michael's stuff here, so let me make sure I don't mess this up. We go propellant loading, save. That should move our status up to propellant loading. Hey, it worked. Cool. All right. Good deal. So, Jack, can you explain, like, you're out there, take it away for a second here and let us know what's going on at Boca Chica. What are we waiting on? Why is this test important?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Starship serial number 10, as I'm sure a lot of you already know, but there's always new people. So Starship serial number 10 is trying to conduct a test flight. I think the latest info we have there is that it's going to 10 kilometers again, same as SN9. And I think basically they swapped a Raptor engine out. They pulled a Raptor yesterday out and they put a new one on. And because they swapped Raptors, they have to do another static fire before they do a flight. And I say have to, there's no like written rule and a big like steel plate, you know, made out of 301L or whatever, and it's like laser etched into it, like thou shalt static fire before flight if Raptors be swapped. No, it's not necessarily the case. I mean, who knows what things could change is my point there. But point being that they have to do another static fire. So that is what we're looking at. And the tank farm is active. The recondenser is on, which is a piece of equipment of the ground support equipment that recondenses gaseous methane that is heated up inside the vehicle back into liquid methane. So the recondenser, as you said, Das, was activated at 4:09 local time. It is now
You got it.
4:37, and I believe, according to Adrian, one of our awesome members in our Discord, who put together the legendary spreadsheet of wisdom, which I'm just going to add of wisdom on to the end of that now.
Keep stalling. Keep talking about it.
Yeah, I'm going. It's so that spreadsheet, I believe it's about 39 minutes from recondenser to static fire typically. And now there can always be built-in holds. Things could change in the flow, but we've seen enough static fires at this point of enough vehicles all the way back to like wet dress rehearsals and cryo tests and stuff. But based on our experience, this is what the flow will be. So the next thing that we would expect to see in this flow, like you said, we already had skirt venting. You can see just a little bit of condensation coming out near the, basically an interface between the mount and the vehicle itself. And the next thing we should expect to see would be a methane vent. And then I think that one's what, like 3/4 of the way up the vehicle?
It's right here, Jack.
That one's actually...
That's where it is.
Hey, look at that. That's excellent.
Yeah, sorry. I think I was supposed to remove something from the background, but whatever. This works. That's what I was rushing to do when I was telling you to stall.
I figured you were doing something cool, pulling some cool steampunk levers. So look at that. You can see exactly where that methane upper tank vent would occur, around 16 minutes before T0, based on, you know, I want to emphasize this, the timeline could change, but this is based on the evidence that we have so far from all of the static fires from serial number 8 and 9 and etc.
Yeah, and I think we have seen some activity up there. We've already seen activity from the methane vent. It was a little bit tough to see with the fog, but there was definitely something coming out of the methane vent. Okay,
excellent. And then after the methane vent is the tri-vent or the engine chill vent, and that is the three trilinear symmetrical down there at the bottom.
3x symmetry is what it says in Kerbal. 3x symmetry.
Much better. Much easier to say. Yes, let's just go with 3x. It's a very Kerbal rocket as it is. I mean, who makes a rocket out of insanely heavy steel? But hey, it's delightfully counterintuitive, as Elon said on Twitter. So yeah, that's where we're at. Waiting for the methane vent, which I think you said we've seen activity there. So now we're waiting for the tri-vent, which is typically about 12 minutes from T0. Although I would like to point out, I think on the previous static fire that timeline was a little bit different. I don't know if there was a hold there or something, but it was more than 12 minutes. So just using the appropriate weasel words and hedging my bets here so that I don't make any proclamations that turn out to be drastically wrong. Yesterday I did a little Instagram live thing, the sun was setting because I was at the launch pad and hanging out. And, I said, I was like, no way they'll static fire tomorrow. No way. Yeah, it takes some time to swap a Raptor. I mean, I really, maybe, but I don't think so. And so, yeah, turns out they're going to try and static fire today. They really swapped that Raptor in record time, and that was quite impressive.
Do you think I should do it this way so that if one camera freezes at the exact optimal time to see the ignition, that we still see it on the other screen?
I mean, 2-box isn't bad. Although the view from Mary's camera right now is absolutely tops.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So it's like the robot can give you like basically you have a very nice view of the mount, and we might be able to deduce how many engines and whatnot are doing their thing. But we can always look at that on a replay, right? Like I don't know. I'm kind of like, from a cinematic point of view, this is like more newsy, and like a 1-box is just like, it's like soak it in, boys.
Yeah. So we normally don't show them.
I like this.
We normally don't show them side by side like this because the two cameras, they're two different types of cameras, they're two different encoding technologies, they're two different transport technologies. Like, it's not possible to make these two views exactly match up. So we can edit it in post and make the static fire exactly match up. For a very time-sensitive thing like a static fire, we usually don't 2-box it like this because I know that these latencies are slightly different. You won't notice it when it's just things like venting and stuff like that off the sides, but when it's a point in time like a static fire, I can tell you that these two cameras will not exactly match up. So that's why we normally don't do the 2-box. But we'll leave it here while it doesn't really matter. Mary out there, of course, is standing by waiting to hear that siren. and we would expect to hear a siren 10 minutes in advance. And we still haven't seen, usually just preceding the siren, the engine chill, the trivent, like you were saying. So that is what we are going to be looking for next. But keep going, Jack, dude. You were nailing it down, and I'm going to be resetting a couple things here on my end.
All right. Yeah, cool. I can go through the panel. I can answer your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to type them into chat at NASASpaceflight. That helps them pop up in a little piece of software that Michael wrote. Look at that. That's a nice view.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Take one a little tighter. Yeah, this is 25X, and I've got a 45X robot that's up next to be shipped out.
I've seen it, and it looks extremely large and heavy, and I am ready to do whatever you need me to do. Let's just put it that way. Let's see.
You'll be getting a package soon, Jack. You'll be getting a package soon out there.
I feel like a lot of times when I'm on these excursions, you'll say something like that, and I just feel like Mr. Burns. I'm just like, excellent.
Excellent.
Okay. Let's see. Gorex, thank you for the 10 pounds. They say, go NASA spaceflight. Mark Garrett's, what's up, Mark? Thanks for everything that you do. For the €5 and say, good to hear your voice again, Jack. Yeah, it feels like it's been a bit since I've been on stream, even for SN9, and I was on a little bit of a tricky connection, and yeah, I wasn't really able to jump in as much as I might have liked to, although perhaps that just improved our output. But let's see, Rough Riders, 499. Let's see, Jack, really happy you made it safely. What serial number do you think will be at the pad by late May for your stay? Let's see, Rough Riders. Well, first off, thanks for the happiness that I made it safely here. And let's see, what serial number by May? I'm gonna say, like 18. I know I always say 18 for these types of serial number answers, but no, it just seems like 15 campaign. Oh no, well, so 11 is up next, and then let's see, that would be like March, something like that, and then you can figure once we're done with 11, we're gonna jump to 15, which I know if you guys are new, and oh, look at that. Is that the? Oh, never mind.
The Air Force?
No, I thought I saw chat was saying engine chill, and I thought I was like looking. I thought there was going to be a tri-vent, but I don't see a tri-vent yet.
I see some stuff coming around the bottom of the skirt, but I don't see a true tri-vent happening yet. We'll keep an eye on it.
Cool. But yeah, so Rough Riders, yeah, so if you figure 11 is like kind of the March time frame, and then we jump to 15, which again, if you're new, they scrapped 12, 13, and 14. We actually saw them scrap 12, and I think they repurposed some parts from 13 and 14, although I'm not sure about that. But yeah, so we're gonna jump to 15, and we figure that's like April, May. So maybe not 18. Maybe I'm just wildly optimistic. I'm gonna revise and say 16 and a half. How about that?
Sure.
But thank you for the support. Yeah, thank you for the support, Rough Riders, and everybody. Let's see, rocket launches. Thanks for the 199. They say thanks for all you do. Hope this helps. It does. Everything helps. Even hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, all that helps.
There's the tri-vent, Jack. Look at that.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful.
All right, so moving the status up to engine chill. Up next, we'd expect a siren, and Mary will let us know what's going on there. I'm also going to bring up the ambient on Mary's remote so we can hear the siren ourselves.
Excellent. So typically, although not on the previous static fire, we're about 12 minutes from the start of this particular behavior from the vehicle and a static fire. So 12 minutes, 4:45, I think is when it started. And wait, I am breaking news. Breaking news. I am getting some information from the very person that is responsible for our predictions. It's Adrian. Thanks, Adrian. They're saying 1657, which maybe I shouldn't have said out loud, but that's what I just did.
Well, no, it's based on science. I mean, that's based on observing the different things that happen. Tri-vent, the engine chill down is a very good indicator of T0. And Adrian, with all the spreadsheets and all the data that he's collected, I'm pretty confident that is a prediction we could say out loud based on all the data he's kept track of. Did we do that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. You're 100% correct. I just based on how it was sent to me, I wasn't sure if I should have read it after I read it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, look at this, Jack. I'm going to say really quickly, oh my, how the turntables, right? Because yesterday, the previous static fire, everybody was screaming for the beach view because the way the wind was blowing, the beach view could see the engines, and from the village we couldn't. But look at today. Today, from the village angle, we can see the engines. We can't see it from the beach view. This is why we have multiple angles that we can choose between. Very cool.
Yep, sure enough. And
Back to
Mary
the-
is
back to the
saying
correct
siren in our Discord. There you go, siren.
Yep. Let's see if we get a full siren or just like a half siren.
Sounds like a full siren. Oh, spoke too soon.
Apparently the sheriff's deputy's watching the show, Jack.
Yeah, he's like, up. No more siren for you.
Oh yeah, siren, huh? Okay.
Good old, that was a solid wee-woo though. I mean, we've seen them just not do a siren before, so.
Whew. So we will update the status here to siren and say save and continue.
So again, though the siren is not a distinct indicator of 10 minutes exactly, that is what it's supposed to be, and the prediction is 4:57 local. So maybe 4:57 and some change. I don't know. You want to go down to the second? Let's go down to the second. Let's guess because it's fun. It's fun to guess. 4:57:25, and that again,
What?
that is a guess.
What?
That is guess based on evidence, but things change. So I don't know. Let's just have some fun. We have
Experimental-
the counter up. Yeah,
Experimental test programs do not work that way, Jack. Jeez, come on.
There you go. Yeah, give me a good old Morbo, classic Morbo yelling at, because maybe I deserve it. But yeah, again, it's an experimental test program. It is, things change. There could be a hold in the flow. There could be a guy in a pickup truck driving around and cause a.
Oh,
there could be kayaks. There could be kayaks driving by right now. We don't. Things change. Okay, but that's why it's fun to guess. And let's see, really quickly, Science for Kids, thanks for the $1. CANP Railroad, what's up? Thanks again for all the support. It's a good evening and watching the Flying Silos. The Flying Silos would be a good band name. Ken B, thank you for the £5. They say, hey guys, will the FAA need to give new approval for the flight after Raptor swap? Good question. Oh God. Oh, Ken, no, please no. But maybe. I don't know the answer to that, and now I'm worried. Thank you for that. And Thomas Anfang, thank you for the $5. They say, I live 20 minutes up the road from Space Shuttle Discovery, and I'm hoping we get to see an early Starship for the local Smithsonian. Keep up the great work. Quick bone to pick. I'm really sad that SN5 and SN6 were destroyed. And I know they're going to be making a lot of prototypes, and they can't keep all of everything hanging around, but, SN5 and SN6, I feel like, are historical objects that no longer exist, and that's really unfortunate, and I do hope that the Smithsonian and some other museums are able to get some of this hardware, because it's going to end up that it's quite historic if everything pans out the way that we expect and want it to. Let's see, what else we got? I'll jump into some questions from y'all while we wait for the flow to progress, although I will shut up at some point so we can listen, I promise.
Yeah, I think I'm supposed to change it to static fire imminent when we're supposed to shut up, so remind me.
Okay, fair. People in chat yelling webinar at me, that's very kind of you. Right now, you are all in my Starship webinar, so deal with that. Let's see. People guessing 4:58:42, people guessing 22. People are all guessing their own pet times now, which I suppose I did to ourselves. Let's see. Only 2 minutes between engine chill and siren. Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, that's normal, because I think engine chill is 12 minutes roughly, and siren's 10 minutes, give or take, the sheriff's deputy moseying over the vehicle. So I think that's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess I'm just I'm thrown off by some of the weak sirens lately, or there's always a little bit of variability. I know I'm hating on the sirens a lot. I
Weak
apologize.
sirens.
So, come on, we need a strong siren. Strong. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Buff for BCS says, what will a similar engine chill and venting procedure be expected to occur with the final version of Starship on top of Super Heavy, and will that cause issues in space with venting? It is sort of important to recognize that we are looking at a prototype here. It's an absolute definition of a prototype. It's the second stage of a full rocket system. It doesn't have a full heat shield. It doesn't have a lot of things that the final versions will have, and it remains to be seen how dramatically they will in fact change over time. So,
Jack,
very good
look,
question.
we've got that nose cone
What's up?
vent going. Look at the very top of the nose cone there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be what, loading locks into the header tank up there. Let's see if it frosts up or anything. It's really interesting that the previous static fire, it got so frosty, and on this static fire, there's barely any condensation on the exterior of the vehicle at all. Is that a drone?
I think
Yeah,
so.
looks like looks
Up
like the
there in the
drone is
upper
up.
right hand. Yeah, that vertical flight right there made it definitely look like a drone.
And it's gone.
All right, so what was our time, Jack? What time were you guessing there?
4:57:25.
4:57. All right, so at 4:56, I will switch it over to static fire imminent, and we'll bring up that audio. There's definitely some.
And there is another
beeping noise.
there is another step in the flow. The LOX vents that we're looking at, the tri vents down there at the bottom of the vehicle, will pulse. They will shut off for a moment and then come back on, and that is the sort of the final, like, okay, I think that's about 2 minutes away, and then, oh, look at the birds, look at that, right on cue. And so after the pulse, the next thing is immediately at ignition, there is a high pressure sort of burst of LOX from those vents. So next two things would be a tri-vent pulse, and then immediately before ignition or at ignition, the large spurt, which you can deduce, if there's no fire at that point, it aborted. So sort of the things that we watch to figure out what is going on with Starship.
By the way, can I
Listen
just
to
say
that.
this is a record turnaround for a Raptor?
What's
Yeah.
up, Chris Bergen? How's it going?
I want to acknowledge that. It's doing well, thank you very much. This is amazing, really, because we've known from previous Raptor turnarounds. I'm keeping a very close eye on the screen, by the way. I will stop talking if we start seeing pulses. We've seen Raptors being swapped out, and it takes them a lot of time to complete the process and be ready to be in a stance to static fire again. And they've done this within a day. Literally, they're like last night they were swapping around.
Look at that. Look at that, Chris. The flaps.
Yeah, we had that last time.
Forward flap
Yeah.
vents.
That was
That's
something
really
we saw last time for the first time as well, yeah.
Elon's like, hey, can you put another vent on there that makes it look cooler? But no, to your point, Chris, you're totally right. I was not expecting a static fire attempt today. This is absolutely an astounding rate of speed for swapping those Raptors out. So yeah, I mean, we saw them pull one out yesterday and put a new one on, get it all ready to go for a static fire, which is a lot different than just sort of screwing in a couple bolts so that it's attached to the vehicle. There's a lot of connections to be made, and I'm sure checkouts to be done.
But it's important because it helps them in the long run, because when they start putting 28 engines on these things, they're going to need, they don't want to be waiting weeks while they swap out one of the 28 engines. It's something where they can take this improvement in the process, which Elon said they were going to do. He did say he wanted it down to hours. I think he's replying to Tim, wasn't he? He said he'd rather it be a swap down to the timeline of hours. And that's something where he's thinking future for like Super Heavy, for when they have lots of engines on these rockets. It makes a lot of sense that they've gone for that, but they've done it already. That's what surprised me, is that he's literally said that a month or so ago, and now he's implemented it. So that's a real big achievement.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's sort of like a tire. Like, you want it to be as easy as changing a tire on your car. Kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. And I don't know, if spacecrafts have tires, I guess they're kind of like engines. We're at 4:56 right now, Das. I don't know if you want to go to...
Static fire imminent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And really quickly, Chris, to your point, if there's so many engines, like 28 engines or whatever, all clustered around each other, imagine what a pain it would be to have to pull one of those out.
Yeah.
When it's all, like right now, they sort of have really easy access to all three engines. There's nothing else under the skirt there except for the feet. So yeah, it needs to be easy and hopefully not need to happen a lot. All right, so potentially under a minute from static fire of serial number 10. This will be what, the second static fire for serial number 10? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, second one.
So here we go. Let's watch for that tri-vent pulse, which I don't think has happened yet.
And that's like 30 seconds beforehand. You see those tri-vents shut down, and then right before static fire, you see a big spurt come out of them, and then you
think
get
he's
into
doing it now.
That could be the wind. That could be the wind, but it could
Could be,
also
couldn't
be.
it?
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks like a sharp cutoff to me. We're seconds
jeez.
away here. No, that's absolutely a pulse. They might be only doing a single engine based on that, but that's a total guess on my end.
There you go. Oh,
Looked good.
there you
Looked like all
go.
three.
That one sounded good, didn't it?
It did. It sounded nice and clean. Sounded like all three, or looked like all three. I mean, I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. That was like a solid static fire.
I've recorded it and I'll put it in a tweet and I'll put it back into chat for people to look. But it looked very good to me.
Mary said
Mary's
it
saying
sounded.
it sounded excellent.
Yeah.
Mary knows. Mary's so experienced with these things now. She can hear differences in the actual static fires. It's a good indication. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's
Let me
anyone
unpin this
that
tweet.
can qualify a static fire as good based on audio, I guarantee you it's Mary.
Well,
Right,
also,
everyone
there was no quick
sorry,
depress.
Oh right, yes, that's true.
Remember?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just going to put a pinned tweet into chat so people can watch a quick replay from my Bandicam recording.
Look how frosty the header tank in the cone is.
Yeah. There's a significant ring of ice up there around the header, up there at the tip of the nose cone, y'all. Or nose cone, I mean, whatever. Play too much Kerbal to call it anything besides a nose cone. Don't at me.
I mean, yeah, it is a nose cone. It's a nose cone. Wow, what a great static fire. That was an excellent static fire. I mean, we could get a tweet from Elon in 5 minutes that says, have to change out all three engines, but I bet not. I mean, I'm just a total guess. That looked and sounded great. No crazy Raptor eating itself sound at the end there. I mean, superb.
By the way, that brings up something that I brought up during the previous live stream, is that the quick look reviews, they're called quick look, but they're ironically not that quick, is where they check the engine data, the performance. There's big depress, so that's good. That's the end of the actual depressurization, which is what we expected. That Elon tweeted the first reference to a problem with that static fire was reply to the Mary's video, the edited version by Brady, which was several hours after the static fire test, rather than any of my tweets, which were put out within minutes. That's the whole point of a quick look review, is it does take a few hours until they get the data back, and that's when Elon heard what engine wasn't performing as it should be.
Yeah, that was a really nifty reply there.
Yeah.
Chat is saying drone again. I don't see it. But
a lot of people asking why that was so fast. Well, I mean, it was on the timeline. It wasn't fast. It's just that we haven't been live for 5 hours waiting.
Yeah, pretty much, and that was because there was a lot of fog, which has since cleared out.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed. I should have been outside looking instead of on my computer. I figured it was just going to be a wall of white. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, as we've said, every time we do a live stream, we want y'all to know that there's going to be something cool to see, right? And sometimes we get a good indication something's going to happen, and it takes a while. But here today, we were standing by. We saw the condenser come on. We knew that it was really foggy out there. We wanted to bring y'all the best possible views that we could, and that's why we were sort of waiting. So we didn't go live until about 20 minutes after the recondenser turns on. Normally, we may be live right at recondenser or even before that. In this, we waited until 20 minutes after the recondenser came on. That put us at what we guesstimated about 15 minutes before a static fire, and it actually turned out to be about 20-something minutes, 25 minutes before a static fire, and that's why the stream seems super short. We've been live only for 32 minutes right now, but we were watching, we were waiting, instead of saying, oh, the road's closed, let's go live and sit here for 4 hours. Maybe we'll get some more super chats if we sit here, haha. We wanted to wait and make sure we could bring you a good show. We want, whenever you get a notification from NASASpaceflight, to know that you should probably hop onto the stream and have a look at what's going on. So, spiel done. Go ahead, Jack and Chris.
I would like to point out that the prediction time of what was it, 57:25, 4:57:25 was within 5 seconds of TV.
Nice.
Wow.
Is that Adrian to thank again with his spreadsheets?
Yeah, that is all a testament to Adrian and their diligent work tracking all of this data. Because you know, at a certain point, we saw so many of these static fires for between SN8, between SN9, between now SN10, and even earlier. So I'm not quite sure how far back the data goes because the flow has changed quite a bit. That's actually a question I should ask him. But basically, based on all of the static fires so far that are relevant data to what we're watching right now, they have been able to cobble together this amazing timeline, which changes and sometimes is off and is experimental and all based on the data that we have at hand. But that's just science, right? You use the data that you have at hand, you form hypotheses, you test them, and you're happy or not when they're right, depending on, I suppose, the hypothesis. But super cool.
Especially during launches themselves, because we've seen on the countdowns that they do have these mini holds, a bit like New Shepard does, where they're just basically in a countdown, but they'll hold for a few seconds and start up again, and that will knock the timeline off a little bit. But it's just good to have indications of things like Trivent. You know, that's when you know it's game time, when it's Trivent. So that's always a good indication.
Okay, so Adrian is following up and saying their data goes back to SN5 and SN6, but they're only using a subset of that for the current prediction. So,
that sounds good to me.
When do we think this is going to launch then? Because I know Jack's overjoyed by the fact that he's not going to be staying there for like 3 weeks again. So but, yeah, do we think for tomorrow? Is that really? I think that's pushing it. Don't we think tomorrow launch?
Is there a TFR tomorrow that's up to unlimited or whatever?
So. I think there's still one active.
Foot. So they could conceivably hop tomorrow, which, I mean, yeah, that would be a significant shortening of the timelines that we've seen, and I think a big success if they managed to pull that off. Even there was a TFR on Saturday too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. So they might have an attempt tomorrow, an attempt on Saturday.
The thing is, it's got to launch by Tuesday because I tweeted a prediction saying that you can quote me that it'll fly by Tuesday. So it's got to fly by Tuesday. If Elon's listening, which he won't be, but if he is, please, for my reputation, please launch by Tuesday.
Oh, I bet you don't even need to ask. I bet that's exactly what Elon wants.
Oh yeah,
he wishes it launched 2 weeks ago.
He doesn't need any pushing, does he?
Yeah. So. And people in chat are saying there are TFRs, so excellent.
For tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah.
And now some people are saying Sunday there's a TFR. I should probably look this up instead of just reading chat.
Yeah, we probably should. You probably should never read chat, actually.
Oh, fair. That's fair.
Now, wait, where are we at? Are we detanking? Are we final depress? Like, what point in the timeline are we?
We're in a hold, honestly. They could be detanking, but I am unsure here. This is, they didn't do a super big, double depress vent, so I think we're either detanking or holding. I don't know, Chris, do you have any opinion there?
I saw one very big vent, which was certainly depressurization. We wasn't the two large, long duration vents we normally see for the end of testing. So we're not there yet, but that does tend to come slightly later. So I'm keeping an eye on it. But they're 1 hour to go in the window. It would make sense that they're complete now, unless they wait to extend the road closure. But that'll point to some unplanned test, and I don't think they're there. I think that looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at static fire complete now until we see the big, long, prolonged double vent, like high pressure vent. All right, if you
really see it on the other view as well. The other view really shows the length of the vent, and that gives you a good indication that both vents are going, and they're going quite for a long period.
We've got that actually zoomed in a little bit there now, Chris. So the robotic control came into play.
That's
And I actually tried something a little bit different. I actually backed out the village bot. So this is the view from the village bot, and to get a little bit wider perspective of the static fire and then the cloud sort of going away, so we can include that in the edited wrap-up video. We'll have the beach angle, we'll have this wider shot, we'll have Mary's nice, long, tight shot there, and we'll be able to put all that into the video that we will certainly edit together, right?
Nice.
All right.
Are we able to watch a replay from the
I am
robot?
working on it right now. I'm pulling the replays right now.
Cool deal. I'll read some super chats in the meantime. David Patrick, thank you for the £5. John Ferris, thanks for the new membership. If you guys don't know, certain levels of the membership, I think Capcom and above get you Discord access. Other levels get you preview videos that go up before the videos like Das was talking about right there go live. And they also give you chat emoji, and I'm gonna throw a triple Jimmy into chat there. Oh, it was a quadruple Jimmy. Look at that.
Triple Jimmy? What?
It's a Jim heavy, Das. I guess this would be a Jim ultra heavy.
Really?
Good old. It's classic. That is classic our streams. A good old solid Jim heavy there, or a Tory heavy. I guess I'll do a Tory heavy, even though we're doing a Starship stream.
Man, you're trying to start a fight or something, aren't you?
Let's see. Rocket Chaser, thank you for the $5. They say, hey guys, thanks for the coverage as always. If the static fire happens as nominal, will the test flight likely to be tomorrow? That is the big question now. Even though you asked it 15 minutes ago before the static fire happened, that is definitely what is on everybody's mind. I guarantee you. I bet there's a lot of photographers in Florida right now jumping in their Teslas and hauling butt to Texas. Let's see. I do not know how to pronounce your name. I really apologize. But thank you for the €1. Adrian Foster, thanks for the £10. Custard the Pipe Cat, what a cute and interesting name. Thank you for the $1.49 Australian. Bimmergeezer, what's up, Bimmergeezer? Another one of those common names we see a lot that supports us non-stop. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you for the. Why can't I click you? Thank you for the $25. They say thanks. NSF appears to be very successful. Indeed, it's super effective. Hopefully that static fire was as good as it. Don't you scoff at me.
It was more of a snort, man.
Very effective.
All right.
It's super effective. Starship uses static fire. It's super effective. As long as it's not like SN10 fainted. Like, come on, don't do that. We got to take it back to the Pokemon Center, get it healed up, and then a couple days later we'll be able to try it again.
That's why I want to involve in one of Jack's webinars.
You saved the joke, Das. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I got your back, Jack.
Let's see. Frank Sullivan, thanks for the new membership. Jerwa, thank you for the $10. They say donating for the hotel stay extensible when Jack winds up stuck there because Chris jinxed everything. Thank you, Jerwa. And another one of those common names we see pop up a lot. Camille, thank you for the €1. Adam, I almost said Adium, which is not a name. Adam, thank you for £5. They say, phew, just caught static fire with about 3 minutes to spare. Thanks for the coverage, guys. I think you might win the award there, Adam, for shortest time to wait for a static fire ever. 3 minutes, not bad. Yeah, if you tune in and the tri-vent is going, you tuned in at the right time. Sean M, well, really you should watch this the whole time, but it's the right time if you're late, if you're rushing, etc. Hedge. Sean M, thank you for the $5. Lucas, thank you for the $1.90. Real, I think that might be. And Dougal is asking about the kayak stream which I don't have the kayak with me. I don't know that I'm ever going to stream from a kayak, but it's going to have to make the trip at some point. Oh, and I think Dougal's disappeared, but classic kayak jokes. You know how it goes. Thanks to Andre for the kayak. Which popped the first time I took it out because I'm accident prone.
I bet you never thought you'd say that on a live stream. Thanks for the kayak.
No, absolutely not. Quick aside, the amount that we're able to do all this, and the amount that we are able to sink into our ability to produce these events, and the amount that people care. I mean, like, I was at the launch pad yesterday, and someone was like, asking me who I shoot for, and I was like, NASASpaceflight, and he's like, oh, the stream, and I was like, yeah, cool, you know what we do, that's really neat.
I like it, actually. They said NASASpaceflight, and they said the stream. Chris is gonna stab me, but
yeah,
no, I'm fine.
The news site that was originally focused on shuttle, and
someone did a super chat just a minute ago saying when Chris mentioned shuttle, you've done it for me. Hey,
bingo.
That's the big brain move for Chris B, is to have to in tune someone else to mention shuttle rather than him having to do it. Let's see. Oh wow, Robert Hobson, Bob Hobb, long time.
Wow.
Big donor. Thank you so much, Bob Hobb. They're saying I'm very disappointed that Das made a Pokemon joke. Bad what? Dad, bad Das. What's wrong with Pokemon? I'm legitimately curious now.
Robert, don't you want to be the very best? Like no one ever was? Come on now. There was a Team Rocket blasting off again FAA joke in there before. Like, come on. It's not the first Pokemon reference on the stream.
It's yeah, I mean, I grew up on Pokemon, but I don't know. We'll have to get some. They're saying "boo" in all caps in chat, like the angry lady in Princess Bride that's like booing at the princess in the crowd scene. You know the scene.
Boo!
The what?
Boo! Boo! Yeah.
What movies do you
But-
watch, Jack?
Oh man, you don't. Come on, Princess Bride's a classic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
No.
This has been your Jack movie recommendation of the day. But seriously, Robert Hobson, sorry for the Pokemon jokes. I can't say that I will try to limit them in the future because I really enjoyed that one. But seriously, thank you for all the support, buddy. You're a legend, and we couldn't do what we do without people like you. Dark Viper, thank you for the £5. They say, I'm speaking on behalf of people in Alpha Centauri system. Elon Musk is an agent of ours since contesting Starship to bring you to use for harvesting. I mean, all I can say to that Dark Viper is joy. I get to be harvested.
He has some great dreams at night.
Gordon Murphy, thank you for the $5. Chris has sort of mentioned Shuttle tangentially. Camille, thank you for the €5. They say thanks for the amazing streams from the Netherlands. That's awesome. It's really cool that people from around the world are able to join in the fun here. And thank you, Camille, for helping make sure that happens. Sarah Ecton with the Chris B fan club, the Jack fan club, the Das fan club, and the Mary fan club.
And you pronounce the name
Sarah, so much.
You pronounce the name correctly. I never
Hey,
do.
look at that. I don't get everything wrong all the time. Let's see. Hazard the Dutch Angel Dragon. You got some interesting names today.
All right.
Showing my support from Liverpool. Love that you guys do. Love and hope you continue to do it for many years to come. P.S. And I think that's a troll on Chris B there.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's something about Leeds, right?
No, that'd be Liverpool because he's from Liverpool, so it's LFC. Liverpool Football Club, they're like the Premier League champions. York City are 6th tier and struggling. So that's not really a PS. That's just a statement of fact.
It's just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the statement of fact and the words of encouragement there. David Brock, thanks for the $5. Musical Wolves, thank you for the $2. And Alex Dan, thank you for the Canadian $5. Which they say, do Starship fins move in both directions? Why or why not? I think they only move in the one. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Good question.
I think they just move in the one. They just hinge on one axis.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, and I don't know that even the aero covers or what have you, whatever you want to call them, the piece that goes from the Starship piece to the fin piece that covers up all the connections and whatnot, I don't think that is shaped in such a way that they can bend forward towards the belly. It's like if Starship ever had to put its socks on, we would probably have a bad time. It's kind of doomed to perpetually Naruto run around the atmosphere and space. Let's see. Some other questions. Owen Medford asking, can we start calling it SNX? It's not a bad name. I know, I kind of want to call it Snacks, because that's got a nice ring to it. Or SN10, because, if you're a Mac OS person, it's Mac OS 10. It's not Mac OS X. And you can always tell a Mac person from a not Mac person if they say OS 10. So I can't see the X and say X. I just have to say 10, but it looks really cool. If you want to write SN10 as SNX, I'm not going to stop you. And in fact, take it now, because it's take the opportunity to do it, because now is the time. We are on the first Starship with double-digit integer serial numbers, and it could be flying as soon as tomorrow.
Mentioned the air surfaces. I want to bring up two things I think people miss a lot from these previous flight tests. Is that a lot of people concentrate, quite rightly, on the more visual event of the actual landing or attempted landings. They've managed to get these things to belly flop stably twice now. They didn't. You can't test that in a wind tunnel. You got to do real life testing with these things, and the air surfaces perform like champions. And also a big shout out to the Raptor TVC, which is called Thrust Vector Control. They're the things that steer the nozzles on the engines if you're new to rockets. They are amazing. I mean, I was so surprised with how active those TVCs are, especially during SN8's flip. That they really are something that I think the design of Raptor, the people look at the power and look at the, what it can do and its reusability and what have you. The TVCs on Raptors are super impressive. So there's a lot of good things that have come from these tests already.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make. Let's see. So if you're wondering what is going on right now, we saw what appeared to be a successful static fire, but we haven't seen a rapid depress immediately after it that sometimes we think could potentially indicate an issue with the static fire. And we haven't seen a full depress, which they could be detanking right now. The tri-vents are kind of petered out, just a little bit coming out of them now, but there's still condensation coming out from under the skirt of the vehicle. And so until, I guess, I'm not sure what the plan is. I don't want to speak for the team, but I'm thinking until road opens, we're going to wait and see, what happens here. I don't think that they would go again, but they have done that in the past. One time they static fired thrice in one day and enabled me to say the word thrice. So, so now we're just kind of hanging out, answering your questions, and waiting to see what happens next. I am Jack Beyer. I am a Los Angeles resident, but I spend a lot of time in Texas covering these events, and I'm currently in Boca Chica, although I didn't get my camera out because fog, and now I feel silly for that. Chris B is joining me. Chris B is the founder and NASA Spaceflight Actual on Twitter, and founder of NASA Spaceflight. What's up, Chris B, over there in England?
Not really much more can say that. Actually, you know what? I'm the founder, but I'm one of the founders. I'm mainly the managing editor. It just sounds better, doesn't it? I don't know why. It just does.
I mean,
sure. Not that I'm vain or anything.
We are a pile of sand, and you have provided a significant grains, and you put down the first grains, and that's not nothing. But it is a fancy sounding title. I like to say founder. Ooh. But for real, thank you for starting that.
It makes it sound like I've designed the first site to do coverage of rockets. Like, no, I can't claim that.
You're like the, no, you know what? That's a bad joke. I'm not going to make that joke. Abort. Let's see. Adam Homewood. Thank you for the £4.99. They say thanks for the great stream, guys, from Plymouth, UK. Banjo, thanks for the new membership. Florian, thank you for the €2. They say 2 static fires, €2. Let's see if you can make it happen. A British guy, thank you for the £5. They say, what do you think about Orbex in the UK that are 3D printing rocket parts for launch at Space Hub Sutherland in Scotland? Take it away, Chris.
Yeah, they're interesting. They've been going for quite a while now, and they remind me of Relativity. They're kind of like that 3D printing situation where they're going for low cost and fast turnaround, and that's what will make their economy work for them. But the Sutherland spaceport site's what's been holding them back. That's been going through lots of planning committees and what have you, which you expect in the UK, happens all the time. And I think most of it was held by a local resident who literally didn't like the idea of people going to the launches. It was going to spoil the countryside for him or something like that. And that's what held it up. Just Scottish law is based along that personal individual rights situation where one person can derail a thing, but it's all gone through now, and it's now looking possible. It's not yet signed, sealed, delivered until they start building the damn thing. That's what we're all hoping for, because the UK, for what, the 5th biggest economy in the world, is so far behind in spaceflight, it's ridiculous. Just to have these small launches will be a massive leap forward, and hopefully that will foster the one in Shetland Islands, and then hopefully the horizontal launch site down in Devon, I think it is, down in the southwest. It's hopeful we'll get something. A lot of the problem with the UK is launching from UK soil. We're just too far in the inclination for it to be really not viable compared to somewhere like Cape or Karoo or places like that. So my big dream is that we use the Ascension Islands right on the equator, which is British territory. Build a launch site there. We could have starships. It'd be amazing. So that's my long-term hope. But you got to start somewhere, and Sutherland is leading the chase on that. So Orbix, I wish them all the best. I'm going to visit them one day and see what they have to say for themselves about these new 3D printing parts.
I cannot wait. That sounds like it'll be a hoot. And now you got me with the Starship from the Ascension Islands. Now I'm thinking, like, there's got to be somewhere in SpaceX on a hard drive somewhere, like a map of prospective Starship point-to-point locations, like, or so, even if it's just notional, I don't know how much, but someone has thought about where could we actually put launch sites for a vehicle this massive around the globe, and what would that look like? Now I'm fascinated in wish I could be a fly on the wall of any number of meetings at SpaceX regarding point-to-point.
If anybody at SpaceX is listening, can you please point on your PDF of potential launch and landing sites, Scarborough, UK? Thank you very much. Well, 40 mile west, 40 mile east of me.
There you go. Wide open fields, no population. Don't have to worry about a sudden rud. You know, don't worry about it.
Could be the new Boca Chica.
Boca Chica, Europe. Euro Chica. Chris Mole, thank you for the £5 and for proposing what looks like Roman numeral serial numbers, which I sort of like, but I don't know. I also kind of hate. Sorry. But thank you for the £5. Eric Wex, thank you for the $5. They say, do they have FAA approval and dates for a potential test flight yet? How high are they expected to fly? In what words? What should I be watching next? Or when should I be watching next? Well, I don't know if they can retain FAA approval while swapping a Raptor. I think so, but I don't know. So that's a good question about approval, because we were understood that they did have approval, but they have now had to swap a Raptor. So I'm not sure how that quite changes things, if it changes things. How high are they expected to fly? I think currently we're thinking 10 kilometers again, and you should be watching the next time we go live, because you never know what is going to happen in the world of Starship development. Banjo 1014, thank you for the $5. They say, NASA question. What is the update on the next SLS hot-fired test? Crispy?
Oh, yeah. I tweeted that just a few hours ago because we had an update from our sources. I say so, they're friends, really. I don't like you. Sources are a dirty word, especially recently. They're people we know, have known for years. They're just working in the program. They'll send us bits of information. Nothing, no like internal PDFs of proprietary information, anything like that. That's dodgy. That's what gets you fired. Just bits of timeline and what have you. And that timeline works for us because that's what we're more interested in. And the latest update was, I will put the tweet into chat so you can see it as well as listen to me say it, is that the SLS program is looking at net, which is no earlier than March the 16th, subject to change because it does always change, for the second static fire test for Artemis 1 green run at Stennis. And that is 3 weeks from now. Put the tweet into chat so you can read the tweet as well. They're replacing one of 8 valves, a pre-valve. The reason why it takes so long is that these pre-valves are deep into the belly of the aft, into the main propulsion system, and they are really hard to get to. In fact, when the first time they had a problem, which was also a pre-valve, ironically, which also is quite depressing because it means they've got a bit of problem there, is that they were fearing to take it off the stand, and that would have been a several-month delay. So the fact that they can at least get to it while it's on the standstill is a big bonus, but it's still 3 weeks away from the second test. That second test will result in barge to KSC by the end of April, and that timeline puts you on a February 2022 launch date.
All right, well, SLS making progress slowly, but making progress.
That's literally what SLS's motto is: making progress slowly.
I mean, that's how you make the most amount of. I'm not gonna start.
Well,
Arvid Nilsson.
You can. I tell you what, Jack. I know where you're going, but you can, because it really has been years and years and years now. And yes, they've got to get it right. And this is the irony, because it's quite on topic with Starship, is that they have to get it right. If they have a boom, a rud on the test stand, that's not like Starship, where they can bring out the next one from down the road, Highway 4, and put it on the test stand and do another test. SLS next core is at Mashoud, and it's about 2 years away. So it's if they lose a stage, that's why they've got to be so careful and why they take it so slowly. If they lose a stage, that is a major problem for them. Starship has a problem. The next one's down the road.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if the Wright brothers made the first plane and then didn't make another plane for 5 years. I mean, it's just not how you get stuff done fast, unfortunately. Arvid Nilsson, thank you for the Norwegian kroner for the 50 of them. They say, do we have a date for SN10 test flight, and will they stick the landing this time? We do not have a date yet, although I guess there's TFRs up for tomorrow and Saturday. And I do think they'll stick the landing this time, but hey, I said they would stick the landing for SN9, so We'll just have to see what happens. I do think they will get all the way to the point of the flip maneuver again. I think that flip maneuver is the big question. I think every other part of flight is sort of a non-issue at this point, at least the 10 kilometers. So we'll just have to wait for that flip maneuver to happen again and see if it successfully nails it. I mean, SN8 looked so good, and SN9 looked good right up until it didn't self-correct. So he's sort of, thinking maybe they'll do some changes with how many Raptors fire up. Like Elon said on Twitter, they might start with 3 and then shut down the one with the smallest lever arm, which means, the one that's just has the least ability to reorient the vehicle. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if 10 lands. I sure hope it does. I absolutely want to see the first one to ever land because, hey, that's history. Little Zebra Dragons, thanks for the $5. Vinny Tate, thank you for the £5. Saying it sounded like scaffolding was falling down when the static fire finished.
Oh,
British guy.
Right. Like the noise. There may very well have been scaffolding in the background or something, huh?
Yeah, they are doing a lot of work around the orbital launch pad. A British guy, again with £5, saying, well, Orbex just bought a massive custom 3D printer to expand production, and hello from Pickering. Thanks again, British guy.
Oh, that's about 30 miles away from me.
Nice. When things clear up, have a brew. Dark Viper with more details on the harvesting process. Thank you for the support there, buddy. The Square in the Air, thank you for the £4. No, £5, 4 minutes ago. You say, Chris, we have plenty of soon-to-be disused oil rigs in the North Sea to convert to launch sites. Hey, and that's
True.
not a bad point.
Very true.
Let's see. Thank you for the support, Square in the Air, and everybody. On High, thank you for the £4.99. Say, if we're looking at UK sites for Starship, I say bring rockets back to the Isle of Wight. They do have rocket history with the Black Arrow.
Yeah, it's a good position to bring it. A very good position for it as well, because the joke I make about Scarborough is because it's my coastal town where I'm from. It's where I used to go as a kid on my holidays. The thing is, it's on the east coast, and it depends where you want to launch from. And there's not much logistics for that area. Whereas the Isle of Wight, you'd have all the catchment area, but being an isolated position. So that's quite a good place to launch it from if you're ever going to do that. The thing with Starship is, and point to point, is it's still very much just a paper thing. It's something Elon doesn't often mention, and I wish he mentioned it more because it sounds like they really are going for it. But I think right now their entire focus is on the deep space exploration missions rather than the point to point. If point to point becomes viable and they can get the clearance through, I think they'll be looking for primary routes, and the primary route will be London to New York, like the Concorde route. So I really do. I love it. I love the concept of it, and I do hope they can find a way of making it viable and test it out on one route, and that one route would be London to New York, I would assume.
That would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Imagine people used to pay top dollar for Concorde, and it was 2 hours faster than a 747 or whatever it was. It was a luxury line that people mainly went on it because it was Concorde. Imagine being told, even for more money, but there's enough rich people in the world to make it viable, you can get to New York in 20 minutes. That's a game changer, isn't it? That's everything. People are going to pay money for that.
Protest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know that stodgy business people would pay for that, but I could see Apple, for example, being like, we need to get somebody to Shenzhen right now to deal with this issue and get or something like that. I'm sure there's applications for stuff like that, but the Concorde analogy is I hear you. Das, feel free to protest, obviously.
Oh, no protest. No, it was a 20-minute thing. That's like a marketing thing. It's like, 20 minutes. But you have to take the boat out there, and then you have to wait to get all strapped into the Starship to take off. And so it's not like you teleport to...
Yeah, but you have to
What's going on with it?
You have to do an airport. You have to get a train there. You have to go through the airport customs and what have you before your plane takes off. It's taxi for half an hour before it takes off. So I'm selling it. I'm sold. I'm already sold.
Well, I mean, from recondenser to static fire is 35 minutes, so there's
Yeah.
your taxi time. Hey,
Taxi time.
I do think that I am ready to do the replay. There were some problems with one of our video servers, but I think that I've got it resolved if we want to attempt a replay here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So y'all just keep talking and I'll put it up on the screen. I may have to focus some here, but y'all just go ahead.
Cool.
While you're doing that, I'm
let's
just
see
still
'em.
waiting for this big vent. It's not happened.
It hasn't, you're right.
No.
Yeah, vehicles just sort of hanging out.
What's Elon up to? What's he planning?
You know, I wonder, Chris, and this, I want to be clear, this is just me blathering on and talking out loud and saying what basically borderline stream of consciousness is in my head. So, oh, look at that. Look at that big puff.
Oh, they did that last time as well. That was like a quick disconnect test. We definitely saw that during the previous stream. It surprised the heck out of us, but it was fine. It's just a big gush from the aft. It's not from the engines, it's just from the aft, and it was from the mount. And that view, from Mary's view, showed even better that it was coming from the actual mount itself. So we think that's a quick disconnect test.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. They've done those tests since we know, at least since SN4. In fact, one of those tests I think was partly what caused the issue with SN4. So
Yeah,
cool
it was.
that they're testing that system, and cool that it appeared to be a good test. All right, let's look at a replay.
And this, of course, is the beach angle here. I have 2 of the 3 replays. I was not able to get Mary's camera, but I do have the 2 robot cameras, and I'm going to continue working on Mary's.
Cool. So yeah, let's watch and see what we can see here. Boom.
1 second tri-vent spurt before it lights up. So always your little 1 second cue, isn't it?
I can just jump back to right before it happens. Let's see here. It's not bad.
It looks, I can't tell, you know, individual engines or anything, but it certainly looks like the amount of fire and force that you would expect from 3. There's a little bit of extra fire there right at the end. But that's normal. We see stuff like that. Whoosh, yeah, right there.
I love how the tri-vent spurt, how it sucks that down. I love seeing that.
I notice that every single time, and I absolutely love. You're completely right. It is such a beautiful phenomenon of, you know, even though it's counterintuitive, even though it's blasting force out the bottom of it, it creates you know, airflow towards it as that force pulls air sort of along with it. I mean,
yeah,
so cool.
Watch that right there, and just watch it get sucked down when the engines fire. Just watch that. Is what we're talking about, y'all. Check it out.
Happens every time. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. One more time.
It's just an excuse to draw on the screen.
It was.
Das, cut back to live.
Got it.
Mary is saying depress.
Ah, here we go.
Yep. That is the big prolonged double depress.
That's a good sign.
Oh, replay. Oh, it's not a replay anymore. You can hear it, yeah. There we go. We'll do that. And let's see if we can see it from the side where you can... Oh, no. We can't see it from the side. Look at that. The fog cleared just enough for us to see what was going on, and then the fog just rolls back in at the beach again.
Thank you, fog gods.
Yeah.
Fog gods. So it took me a few seconds.
Oh man, you have some conversations with the fog gods when you shoot launches at Vandenberg.
At Vandenberg.
You have some long, drawn-out, heartfelt, raging conversations with the fog gods at Vandenberg, and they don't listen. I'll just put it that way.
Well, Jack, look at this. I'll show you real quick. Look at this. I backed off the beach camera just a little bit.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic view earlier, and we can barely see above the aft flaps now. Starship just fades into the fog. It cleared up just for the test, and then it's rolled back in again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's absolutely wild.
So now we're just waiting for the party vehicles.
Yeah. So is this? I need to update this. Is this depress? Is this final depress? Is this detanking? What do we call this one?
Yeah.
I think this is final depress.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like they may have held on to it for a little bit while they did some other testing. Jack, you said it looked like it might have been a like a
A quick
disconnect
disconnect
test or
test.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're in this big, prolonged, high-pressure final depressurization that they do when they're, well, when they're depressurizing. I was going to say when they're done, but when they're depressurizing is what they're doing. Got a little vent stack going there too, just a little bit.
Good old vent stack.
Good old vent stack.
You know, it's living
As
a
you
new
do.
life as a vent stack instead of a flare stack. But you know, times change, people change.
All right, so let's see here. I can go over, and if we want, I can do the replay from the wider angle to get a little context. Do we think? Oh, there's some more depressurization. Let's hang out. If we've got some super chats or something to get through
Sure,
here,
sure.
I will
got
not
you.
do the replay, and we'll do that replay whenever we get through some super chats, since they're doing some depressurization here.
Yeah, we are 12 minutes behind on our super chats, and again, we can't do what we do without you guys' support. Clicking the like button, hitting the subscribe button, watching the ads, and of course the super chats and the members. So thank you everybody for all the support. Armin24, thank you for the Morse code SN10 and the what is that, Icelandic? What is ISK? I don't know what that is. But thank you for the 750 currency units.
I think it is Iceland. I keep asking that, and people keep telling me, and I keep forgetting. I'm sure it's Iceland. Chat, you'll know.
It's like kroners, isn't it? Icelandic kroners or something? I better
Okay,
look
so
that
it's
up.
Yeah, Iceland. It is. No, it is. I just looked it up. It
Yeah.
is. It's Icelandic kroner. I just get confused because there's so many different kroners. There's Norwegian kroners. There's Icelandic kroners. And those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. But either way, Armin24, thank you for the 750K.
Jack, they're currency from the Isthmus of South Korea.
Oh God, I'm never gonna live that one down. Will, thank you for the $2. They say, I vote we call this one the 10-man. I don't get it, but you do you. Thomas Stembridge, thank you for the £5. They're asking UK stadium questions, Crispy.
Yeah, home park stadium. That's Plymouth Argyle's home stadium. It's actually, tell you what, I've been there. York won there 2-1, and it was pretty much just 3 terraces and 1 main stand. Plymouth Stadium now looks like a Premier League ground. It looks really nice. So yeah, congratulations on that, and congratulations on not being pub league like we are. You'll understand that, Jack.
All right, cool. That's exactly why I go to you on stuff like that, because I will just immediately not know what to say.
Yeah.
It's a round ball. It's got black spots.
Yeah,
and
it's
white
like
spots, and they kick
it's
it.
like you asking me baseball questions. It's not gonna happen.
It's definitely not going to happen because I do not know baseball. They hit the
All right.
small white ball with the stick, and they hope it goes far. I don't know. RJC, thank you for the $5 Canadian. They say, why don't they fly small SN5 style rockets and stress test the flip maneuver and engine gimbal? I mean, I think that's kind of what they're doing right now. Even though it's a massive vehicle, that's exactly what they're doing right now. Giles Harney, thank you for the $4.99. Steve Radio, thank you for the £5. Yorkshire born, Yorkshire bred, strong in the arm, thick in the...
That's right, yeah, that's true.
Sorry. Let's see. And Capital Day Walker. Wow, thank you for the $50. Thank you so much. You'd say we love all the work y'all do. Well, we love all the support y'all give us. So thank you so much. CPL Daywalker. Thank you. That's a huge chunk of change. Yeah, I can't say it better than that. And we will absolutely continue with our coverage thanks to support from people like you.
Look at this fog rolling back in again. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
God. It's just the visibility gods definitely smiled on us this evening, whatever.
They did, and I was not there to see the smile, and I feel stupid, but it's the way it goes.
I find it quite picturesque. I don't know. I know. Obviously, you want to see a full view of Starship best we can, but right now, you can see Starship, and I don't know. It just looks very spacey. To me, I like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very cinematic. I mean, last night when the fog rolled in and they removed one of the Raptors on the truck, the headlights were like blasting, beams of light through the fog. It just looked cool.
All right, so I'm ready to roll that replay from that wider angle, and I think this is a really cool angle. If y'all want
Let's
me
do
to
it.
roll that real quick. Where's
No,
my
I don't like cool
replay
angles.
info card? I said, why don't you like cool angles? Jeez, this is why we can't have cool angles, Jack. But let's go over this way, and we'll just bring the replay up on the screen. And so this is from the, I actually took the Village bot, and I backed it off a little bit wider so we could get a view of what happens with that plume whenever it comes out and blows away in the wind. So
Nice.
let's see what we get.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
you can really see that the contrast. Look at it shaking. That's the sound wave probably hitting
Yeah,
the camera
absolutely.
there.
That's just
Awesome.
3 Raptors, remember?
Yep, that's only 3.
And you wonder why Elon's thinking about ocean platforms with 28 Raptors.
Yeah. Let's roll that right back one more time. You could actually calculate the time it takes the sound to get there. There's the event. And somebody count. I mean, you take the video.
1,
when we do the edited
2,
video, people can count.
3, 4.
Look at that.
5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi.
And like, you know, we talk about, remember when they used to do the pre-burner tests and they're like, oh, what's a pre-burner or a static fire? You don't know that's a static fire. We know it's a static fire because of the massive dust plume that occurs. So watch this.
Yep.
You can really see that the Raptors are generating thrust and they are kicking up a lot of dust. If it was just a pre-burner test, it would just be a fireball around the place that didn't kick up this big cloud of dust. But backing off like this allows us to see exactly how much force is being dissipated out in this huge dust cloud.
Super
Very
cool.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
The thrust is 3. It looks like it was 3 on that static fire. I think that was a solid static fire with a thrust of 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
I count it 3.
We do have a project to actually put audio at some of these robot locations. So we've got some ideas that some people have been helping out with to get a high quality stereo microphone feed from some of the robot locations using the same uplinks we use for the robots. So the robots we're using actually have audio, but it's low bit rate. It's not high quality. It's like security audio, right? And we've got some ideas on how we can get from each location some high quality stereo audio. That's just one of the many projects that we turn the super chats back around and all y'all's support able to, I should probably hit play one more time, shouldn't I? Able to continue to increase the coverage that we're able to provide. So I see this thing shaking and I really want to hear the audio timed with the shake. And just all of a sudden it's like cinematic camera, like a movie camera starts to shake. Look at that. Good deal.
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point we're going to be like encasing a robot in a concrete bunker or something and able to make it, you know, like
Jack,
how
I've
do
already
you mitigate
got
shake?
Nope, I've already got plans for it. And
Oh,
it does
cool.
involve
So
concrete
that's-
and it calls big steel pipes and yes, we're on it. I've already contacted a
So-
welding shop.
I remember I remember saying what you had posted in the Discord, but yeah, so that's why you told me to beef up my arm strength. Okay. Okay.
Well, we got to be able to get it to whatever location we want to put it in. Oh no. See, I'm not as
by the time-
coordinated as Michael in removing the little image tags and stuff. There we go.
By the time we have it all up and running, I will be Beast Supreme. I will just be like a giant set of arms on a tiny, tiny set of legs. Oh, man.
Start walking around by like doing handstands, walking on your hands.
Yeah, Dave.
So what's
super
our
cool.
plan here? We've seen what we think is a good final depress. A lot of times we'll hang out until the road opens again. I know Mary, so you haven't seen Mary's camera angle in a few minutes here. We actually told Mary she could start packing up her stuff, and we'll cover her back with the robotic camera so she can go and start getting some of that raw footage and raw audio uploaded so we can get it into a recap video. But are we wanting to stay live until the road opens again? What's our plan this evening, y'all?
I personally think we're good because of some experience, and I will make the call. So if they do end up refueling the thing and start firing again, you can all blame me.
You
But
just
look-
tweet at Elon and be like, really, Elon?
Yeah. The thing is, it's 15 minutes till the end of the road closure, so it's literally they're done for the day. So I'm happy to wind up because the last time we got to this point, I left, and about 10 minutes later, we just ended the stream because we knew that the roads were open. So
Yeah,
it
I
should be you
think that
guys,
makes
but
good sense.
yeah.
Yeah, Jack, how you feeling?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Well, folks, again, we do appreciate you joining us here today. Oh, a couple more super chats. David, thank you so much. $24.99. Thanks for all the great work you do. And Adrian Vaughn, thank you so much. £2. That's heavy. We appreciate the support there as well. So let's do this. Folks, we really do appreciate you showing up. Like I was saying earlier, we want to make sure that when you get a notification from NASA Spaceflight saying that NASA Spaceflight's going live, we do our best to make sure there's going to be something cool to show. And even if the test gets delayed or the exact T0 isn't known, we try to give you some cool commentary, answer your questions, hang out with you just as part of the space family here, interested in what's going on at Boca Chica or rocket launches or whatever's going on. So that's what we do here at the NASA Spaceflight channel. If you want to make sure you can get back to streams like this, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications, etc., etc. If you're over on Twitch, hit the follow buttons, whatever. But that is what we do here with NASA Spaceflight. Also, massive thanks for all the super chats today. Thomas Enfang, look at this. Here we go. Thomas Enfang says, I fully expect the first orbital flight to be an 8K 3D surround sound. Yep. We're actually going to ship rumble seats to all viewers. You plug it into your USB port, and it'll actually shake your office chair whenever. No, I'm kidding. I made all that up. I don't even know if that exists.
I want one now.
You want one now? Oh, jeez. Maybe I can get a prototype together, but not for widespread distribution. Anyways, Thomas, thank you so much for the support there. However you are supporting us, we do appreciate you. Whether you're doing super chats, whether you're one of our regular members who is here every month hanging out with us, or maybe you've gone over to shop.nasaspaceflight.com. I didn't get that exactly cropped correctly, right? But we have all sorts of cool products in our new, knock on wood, that's my head, crash-proof web store. Different product lines, Tale of Two Starships. We've got mugs and T-shirts with the new logo, where we actually had the 2 starships on the pad previously. I know there's some people working on some Fleet Cam merchandise in here as well. I think, isn't there like a, yeah, here we go. Das Art is, oh, we have the Hop shirt from my artwork before. And we also have the Perseverance landing 11 minutes, 22 seconds far drawing that I did as well.
Yeah, I practically demanded this shirt exist, and I know a lot of other people did too, and I'm glad it exists because it's delightfully esoteric. But if you watch that stream, I mean, it landed on Mars. I mean, come on. So I love that shirt, and hopefully we can add some more stuff over time, like a good Trogdor tank section or something.
It's like every single stream there's something. The Win Hop, we still have the Win Hop shirts and hats. Something we don't talk about, the rig. They're taking the helipads off. Did you see that? Oh, they're taking the These are like, should be limited edition shirts then with the helipads. One of the things we don't
do that.
I know. We don't talk about much of the prints you can get. If you buy a print, you can actually hang it on your wall and enjoy the sunrise views that Mary captures out there every single day. Got some aerial photography in there. But across the board, all the different ways that people support us, that's what allows us to continue to do this coverage, show up whenever there's tests, pay for data, ship robots around. I shipped the most expensive robot we have shipped yesterday, and they were very proud of their shipping and insurance to get it there. But we're able to do that sort of stuff because y'all keep showing up to the stream, you keep showing an interest in what's going on, and you keep telling us that you enjoy our coverage in what we do. So across the board, thank you so much for supporting us so we can continue bringing you these live streams. Really quickly on the stream today, you heard from Jack Beyer. Jack, thank you for holding it down while I was doing tech stuff there.
Yeah, I feel dumb for not having my camera out and not being at the park shooting, but I was needed here, so thankfully I was useful either way.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope I didn't break something, but apparently I'm missing the Twitter profile picture. But Jack is one of our video editor, photographers, I don't even know, live stream host, all the different things you do, Jack. Thank you so much. Actually rolling 48 hours for you to get from Southern California down to Boca Chica, right? You're down there right now. So Thank you so much for everything you do to make this stuff possible.
No problem. It's an honor and a pleasure, and thanks to everybody for the support so that stuff like this can happen.
All right, good deal. And then also you heard the voice of Chris Bergen managing. What did you want me to call you, Chris? Lord of all he surveys?
What do you want me to call you?
I don't know. It says managing editor on the screen.
There you go, that'll do.
Chris Bergen, managing editor, hailing from York over in the UK. Chris, thank you so much for joining us here today.
My pleasure.
All right. And make sure, hey, if you want to follow on Twitter, that main account that Chris runs is at NASASpaceflight on Twitter. Anytime there is a live stream coming up, you'll see it retweeted from there. Also, Bandicam. Like, you'll get instant replays via Bandicam tweeted out a lot of the times after tests and stuff like that. So that is all Chris Bergen out there. So make sure you toss a follow to at NASASpaceflight. And then also out there at Boca Chica providing us the camera that has been packed up so she can go and upload her raw footage. We have Boca Chica gal, Mary, out there. If you want another fantastic Starship follow, if you want to know what's happening in Boca Chica in basically real time, it is hard for them to polish a piece of stainless steel and slap a label on it without Mary getting a photo of video of it out there at Boca Chica every single day. She is out and about recording videos for the daily videos, posting up tweets, chasing raptors down the road, and everything that she does to let you know what's going on at Boca Chica. So follow her over on Twitter at Boca Chica Gal. You will not be disappointed if you're interested in SpaceX Starship operations. You will get the hottest, freshest Starship content straight from her lens to your screen, I guess. But follow Boca Chica Gal on Twitter. And then lastly here, as I talk slowly to make sure I didn't miss anything, I don't think I did. I am John Galloway for NASASpaceflight. I think I can find my name in the list and click on it so that my little icon appears at the top. There you go. I am one of the host producer here, setting up some live stream stuff in the background. If you're over on Twitch, you may know me as DOS. Thanks, Twitch, for supporting me and getting me to here so we could figure out how to do all this stuff. But we are going to go ahead and sign off from this Starship SN10 static fire, hoping we'll get a tweet from Elon or something like that saying whether or not it was successful, and we will stand by. We know that there are TFRs for tomorrow, maybe Monday or Tuesday, more realistic for a flight, but hey, it's not up to us, it's up to SpaceX. So stand by to see what SpaceX says in terms of SN10 actually lifting off for its flight. Its test flight up to 10 kilometers last we heard. So for now, we are going to shut down this live coverage. If you want, you can go hang out on Fleet Cam, where we saw some really cool operations happening at the port today. Some Dragon capsule testing and some fairing scoop testing happening live on Fleet Cam. That's our 24/7 camera that you can find here on the same channel. But this stream is ending. You don't have to go home. You could stay here, but I'm stopping the video. Thanks so much, everybody, and we will see you nerds later.
Chamber pressure looks good. Following up. Roger, roll with Planet. Water towers, fly! Flight downside speed off. Speed off. Yikes. You bet. Concur. We don't need any more of these.